Hey everybody, how's it going? I know it's been a while. I just wanted to do basically a catch-up video to let you guys know about how everything's been going. As I said before, I want to be very honest about these videos and this journey of mine as far as health is concerned. A lot of things have changed, and yeah, so I wanted to catch you guys up. So schedule, I recently got a gym membership. That's big, and there's gonna be a video coming up pretty soon about that and how that went down. I will be just giving some insight on like the food situation and how my eating habits are playing an effect in my health and just everything. I think I'm coming to the realization that my health, and it's always been, sort of like this, but even more so now, and you'll understand a little bit more a little bit later in the video. Health has become, taking care of myself and my health have become like a second job for me. Like I actually counted the hours, and the amount of time I'm committing is almost like 8 hours a day. Well, actually, I know it's more than 8 hours a day in all reality, but it's like I said, it's literally like a second job. And so, yeah. First thing I wanted to talk about is just schedule. So, like I said, that's been one of the big changes. My schedule has become very tight, very tight. I guess I just start from the beginning. So, I work at a school, currently doing some substitute teaching, and because of the medicine that I take, I wake up at about 4 o'clock in the morning every day and weekday. And so that combined with the fact that I have to take my medicine in the morning and I catch the bus, so I have to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I catch the bus around 6. Well, I leave the house around 6:10, and then I have to walk to the bus stop. It's like a 5-7 minute walk away from the house. Get there, get to work around 7:15ish. By the time work is over, I am then getting back on the bus to go to the gym. The gym is, but in bus time, the gym's about a good hour away from, in time wise, because of the fact, because of the fact it's the bus, but also because of the fact where I work and where the gym is are like southern and northern part of the city. So it's just kind of how it goes. I get to the gym around maybe like 3:15, 3:30, like I said, and get off the bus stop, walk to the gym, and my routine while I'm there. So usually do like 30 minutes of cardio. I do cycling because I'm kind of moving away from the whole treadmill thing because the impact on your knees is, in the long run, not as good for you. So, the constant, running on that not actual ground, but that flat surface is just, over time it doesn't do well for your knees. So I decided to do cycling instead. And with that being said, when that's finally done, I have a regimen that I do. I talked to the guy at the gym, and he was basically telling me what I need to be working on right now is building my endurance and expanding my chest area. And so the exercises I'm doing for that are basically wide push-ups. Also, so basically doing them as wide as you can with the arms out as wide as you can, and then bring them in as close as you can to like a diamond shape. And so basically you get the point. Do that, then come right back out. And so then after that, it is another exercise that I do with I guess that you would call them bands, and do that for a minute, do some lunges. The best I can describe it is called jumps. And then it's a machine called I believe it's called a rower. Yeah. And so do that whole regimen. And then I take a little bit of a rest because there's a class that usually happens, different classes happen each night, and I try to catch the majority of them because usually they're along the lines of Pilates, yoga, different things like that. There's another class called Body Flow, and the whole point of those classes is to work on my breathing and controlling my breathing. And for people like me who have cystic fibrosis, that's a big thing that they encourage is breath control and breath training and things like that. So I usually try to do that to like stretch my lungs out, breathe after I've done whatever I've done. So by the time all of this is over, I'm trying to get to the bus, and sometimes I'll make it, sometimes I won't. Most times I don't until like, let's say 8 o'clock. Well, actually, I'll miss the 8 o'clock bus and end up having to wait there a good minute because I'll get like leave right when it's a little bit after 8. It just depends. And if I end up leaving after 8, what ends up happening is I have to wait for the 9 o'clock bus. And so this kind of gets into that whole strictness of schedule. So it's like 9 o'clock bus, get to the station, 10 o'clock bus. Because they run hourly at night. And so I have to take the 10 o'clock bus to get to where I live. And the place where it drops you off is actually further away from the place where it picks you up. So I eventually walk home, and I still have to eat, still have to take my medicine, still have to get myself together the next morning. So I'd like to get to bed at least around 11-ish, 12 at the latest, and wake back up at 4 o'clock every day. So like I said, it's been very, very strict, but necessary. And so that's just what I'm doing right now. Like I said, definitely a second job, just working it. I've been going to the gym. The goal has been like to go at least 4 to 6 times. In all reality, no more like 5 to 6 times a week. And that brings me to the next topic, which is food. And so that's been playing a pretty big part. It's definitely been a journey. It's been a process. This whole naturalist lifestyle thing. During this process, I've learned a lot, and it was, like I said, it's a learning process. And I didn't take everything into account, I will admit. Unfortunately, I wasn't paying as much attention to one particular thing while I was making the transition to eating as a naturalist, and that was my weight. And so what ended up happening is, as I was eating healthier, I shed a lot of weight it was unhealthy weight. Now, don't get that wrong, but I wasn't making up for the weight. And so now I'm sort of at a deficit in weight, basically, to where I have to now work on regaining that weight that I lost. And so, like I said, it's definitely a process. I feel a lot better, way better than I would feel if I was my weight was as low as it is, and I was eating the nonsense that I used to eat. And so that's definitely a positive. But like I said, the reality of the matter is, I don't know if you guys recall this, there was a documentary a couple years back on Michael Phelps talking about how much he had to eat. It was something like around 5, well, not that was the only thing, but it talked about that in the documentary. It was like 5,000 to 7,000 calories a day, and it showed like the food he was eating because he burned so many calories. That's how I actually was told I had to eat then. So imagine now the amount of food that I have to eat. Ridiculous, right? So, like I said, it's not, I don't want to make this seem like it's something easy, but it's doable. Even like to that extent, I've actually had to deal with some things recently, personally, like emotionally, when it came to my weight. Things that, like kind of took like a little bit of a hit. I'd say the past like 3 weeks now, every time I went somewhere and there was someone I knew, the same thing was said each time. Dang, you lost weight. Like, it was like every single time I saw somebody, the first thing they said was, yo, Zach, you lost weight. And I'm just like, yeah, I know. And then I got this on like 4 different occasions where somebody said to me, they were like, I didn't even notice you until you got close enough to be able to tell that it was actually you. And I was just kind of like, okay. And, you know, like, eventually it just kind of it got annoying, to be honest. And I think the thing that kind of sparked it, like, or tipped me over, was it was on a Sunday. I was at church, and I'm in the front of the church. The service is over now. I'm in the front of the church, and people are walking past, and so I'm in the front. So I'm kind of like in an area where there's a lot of traffic. And someone had walked past me, and they basically said, "Hey Zach, you're looking a little thin there." And I don't know, like I said, I've heard it a couple times, but I think that time in particular was just kind of like the final straw. And it really, like, it got to me. And I guess I say all that to just say that, like, this, it's not easy. There's a lot of things that happen. Some expected, some not expected. Didn't expect to lose as much weight as I did. Didn't expect to have, you know, all the emotional stuff that comes with it. Even right now, like, I'm pretty sure I'm the smallest guy in the gym, but I know that I'm taking the right steps. And it's, like I said, it's just a process, you know. Last thing I'll just say is one thing about my life, it's always been very micromanaging, you know, like when it came to my medicine and things like that. I always had to, when I was younger, whenever I wanted to go somewhere, if there was something like I want to go to a friend's house, I always had to consider, you know, make sure you bring your medicine with you, or how long you're going to stay, or you're staying overnight. Okay, now you got to bring a whole boatload, look like you're moving in, of stuff. And so that's like, my life has always had some micromanagement. Now it's even more so, because now if I go to someone's house, I have to make sure I have the right food, because they probably have little to no food that I can actually eat, and different things like that. Even just, you know, counting, you know, calories and things like that. Like, I have to do that even more so now. And so it's definitely, like I said, it's definitely a micromanaging type thing happening right now. That also brings me to, I guess, one of my last points, which is, as far as food, there are some things that I'm putting into place to work on. As far as, like I said, I'm in the gym, so I have to eat even more now because I'm in the gym. And so this, hopefully I can make it so that it's visible. Right here is a 62-piece set of Tupperware for when I start meal planning. This is going to be happening very soon. And so basically, yeah, this week, and you'll see that I'll vlog that too, where basically I'm just going to be getting large amounts of food, and, you know, fruit, things like that, chopping it up, putting it in these Tupperware so that I can plan my meals out, and to help me stay more accountable as far as eating enough each day to gain and maintain. And so, like I said, yeah, I guess my final piece here will be this. It's definitely been a struggle, but I thank God, because everything that's happened has been progressive. It's a progressive struggle. And so, like, in the long run, it's gonna work out. You know, rain before the sunshine, or rain before the rainbow, and all that good stuff. So yeah, I am in high spirits. I'm positive, and I'm looking forward to where things are gonna go. So, all right, you guys, God bless. Peace.